Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Community Connections, where I am on a mission to introduce you to our local businesses. And my name is Candace Rausch. I am a realtor with eXp Realty and a Tonto Basin community member. So today I hunted down Lee Goodwin, the jack of all trades. We've been sitting here talking for quite a while now. So he does a little bit of everything. So I'm not going to try to elaborate. I'm going to let him do that for you. So he does, he's been here for many years. A lot of the community, I'm sure, knows of him or has used his services.
I'm infamous.
Infamous.
Yeah.
Infamous. So anyways, tell us a little bit about your business and exactly what you specialize in and what you do, what you love to do.
Okay. I have a local business here. A lot of you may know. It's called Reno Creek Small Engine and Tool Repair. I work on a very wide, I guess you'd call it, myriad of equipment, from chainsaws to generators, pumps, welders, electrical tools. If you pretty well name it. I probably put my hands in it and worked on a very wide range, even more than you would expect for being an equipment mechanic. I've been pretty well born and raised here in Tonto Basin. We started my business in approximately 2001, and here where I jumped into it full time. Mm-hmm. I did have a secondary part-time job here, working with Four Peaks Towing here in Tonto Basin for almost 21 years. So a lot of you may know me for doing that, hauling your cars and that.
Coming to the rescue.
Yeah, coming to the rescue. And but yeah, that's mainly what I do. I don't mind people calling me, and if you have any questions or anything like that, if you have a piece of equipment that you're concerned about, feel free to contact me. I do, like I said, a lot of way more things than I can post on my card.
Yeah. Business card paper is not big enough for everything that you do.
Yeah, for all the things that I do. I try to stay pretty close to what I do. It occupies enough of my time. I don't generate my own work, and anybody that would bring something to me or call me, I have always offered a free estimate of repair. I've repaired equipment and lawn and garden equipment and generators for a long period of time, and I tell people basically I fix what's wrong. Mm-hmm. I pride myself in not being a parts changer. I have always been I guess what you call a diagnostician, if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm a mechanic, not a parts changer.
Right.
And that's try to.
Well, some things aren't garbage just because they're not working anymore.
That's true. That is very true.
They can be repaired versus fixed.
Yeah, sometimes people will bring things in, and the cost of repair. One of the things that I always ask is, if you bring something to me and it costs more to repair it than it would be for you to go buy a new piece of equipment, I'd rather you buy a new piece of equipment rather than continue to have issues or keep having to bring it back.
Unless you're sentimental. about
Yeah,
whatever.
unless you're sentimental.
If it's your great grandfather's weed eater, you're going to do everything that you can do to.
I will, and more than once I've handed it back to somebody and said, there's no charge on this, but I understand that this means a lot to you, and let's find a spot in your thing and hang it up in in a place of honor.
Yeah.
And
Do they have a title for a taxidermist for old retared lawn equipment?
well,
Maybe that
we
could
do
be
have
your-
collectors. We do have
That
collectors.
could be your next venture.
Yeah. And
Display cases.
yeah, display cases for your great grandfather's chainsaw, which is fine. And I always try to, anytime a piece of equipment comes in, and one of the things I always realized is, if you work on something for somebody, a lot of what I do is internal. And so when they get it back, I always try to clean it, make it look as good as it can be for when they come and get it, because I'd rather clean something, have something look really good when they come and get it, and of course run properly. I've tuned my ear to all different kinds of equipment, and I can tell from a mile and a half or 2 miles away whether something isn't running right, and it'll absolutely kind of drive me crazy. And I've seen myself jump in a vehicle and go to the neighbor's house and with a adjustment screwdriver and go
See why
adjust.
their lawnmower doesn't sound healthy?
Yeah, or their chainsaw or something like that, or go down and offer to sharpen a chain. If you're running a chainsaw with a dull chain, it sounds to me like you're cutting a giant redwood when I know you're just cutting brush, and it will shorten the life of your saw because you're having to basically work it to death. And so,
Well, here's a side question for you. Do you do sharpening?
yes.
Do you do like lawnmower sharpening and rototiller sharpening and chainsaw?
Oh yes,
Okay.
yeah. I sharpen
Good to know.
chainsaws. I
Good to
sharpen. I'll sharpen your hand pruners, your clippers. I never really got into doing circle saw blades or anything like that. It's kind of a I guess a niche market for that. Going in and being able to reset the set on your crosscut saw. But I sharpen hedge trimmers. I can sharpen those. I do quite a bit of sharpening.
Yeah.
Different sharpening.
That's
blades.
really good
Yeah.
to know. It's not a small engine repair,
Yeah.
but like I said, he is a jack of all trades.
It kind of goes along with the small engine repair. Generally, if a piece of equipment runs in here, like a lawnmower or something like that, I generally always sharpen the blade. It's just part of the service, when I do, because I want a person to get their equipment back, and I want it to operate properly.
Right. They don't have to
And,
go and then do another thing
Yeah.
and another thing. It's kind of like it's hard for me to take my vehicle to a dealership to have it serviced,
Oh yeah.
but I can take it to a dealership and get it serviced, and then they will wash it.
Yes.
So they clean it up, and it looks pretty when it leaves the service center.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's kind of the same concept, right?
Oh, it is. It is.
If it looks good, it runs good.
Yeah, and it's like a meal in a restaurant.
Yeah.
The first thing you do is you look at the meal. If it looks good, it generally puts you, in that expectation. Riding mowers, larger equipment, and things like that. We have a lot of people here that don't have the capability of picking up a larger piece of equipment, and I will come and do service calls. I will go to location and work on your equipment, or come and pick it up. I do have a trailer and a tilt bed trailer that I use, So I'll come and get your big rototiller or your riding mower or your big generator and stuff like that, and pick it up or do on-site repairs. It's a lot easier for me generally if it's something a little more extensive, because my tools are here at my shop, and it never fails. You go a lot of times on a service call and you're looking for that one particular thing that you need, and of course it's back at your shop. But I do service calls and things like that.
Yeah, doing things at home or in the shop are certainly a little bit more convenient.
Yes.
Because if you need a little bitty screw, you can usually find it in your own stuff.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm an OE person. If there's a specialty type screw or nut or bolt or thing like that, I will go out and I will look for it in order to put it back the way it was intended. I've always kind of followed that principle, and sometimes it may be an extraordinary amount of time me finding this to put it back to where it was originally, but that's just part of
part of what you do.
Yeah, I don't generally leave anything out of here with missing bolts or screws, and I keep all that stuff. And sometimes my shop becomes overwhelming sometimes, because I have a tendency to, keep parts around here, because living in a rural area, sometimes finding those things are a little difficult if it's an older piece of equipment. Sometimes they're not available, in order to find. It is nice to be able to walk out to what I call my boneyard and go find a particular piece that I need. It not only saves me time, and it saves time on repairing equipment for people here, and not having to try to find it and locate it.
Right, so. And that's just. And kind of on a side note, other than the engine repair, we were talking earlier today about how it's a little bit more of a hobby, but he loves looking for things for people.
I try to keep a kind of a wish list. I have people that come and say, hey, do you have I'd like to find a riding mower, or a rototiller, or something like that. I can generally, give it a little time, I can generally find what you're looking for.
And that's good. That's good work for when it's too hot to be outside.
It is.
You can sit inside and still help people out by finding their wish list items.
Yes. So. Yes. I like, if you call me and you've got something that you're looking for to fix something, I don't mind people calling me and say, hey, you give me the information. Let me see what I can find. Let me see if I can find it.
If you can't find it in your boneyard, you may be able to find it.
Yes.
Somehow, or at least help.
Yeah, with the main staple, model, type, and code. Each 90% of your equipment out there has a model, type, and code. And if they call me, I've got the resources with that model number, the type, and the code. I can specifically look at your particular machine and find a diagram, find that part that you've been looking for, and make sure, most of the time, keep fingers crossed, that I can find the part that you're looking for when it comes to generators and mowers and electrical tools and pumps and welders and that kind of thing.
Well, we have no shortage of generators and weed eaters in Tonto Basin.
Yeah.
So if you find yourself in need of repair, certainly we'll give you his contact information so you can search him out and let him give you a free estimate.
Yeah.
And see if he can get you moving on down the road. Not that we all want to be out weed eating, but
No, not this time of year. We just got through a pretty major, what I call weed eater and weed season. Yeah, high weed season, and which I think everybody's yards that had property and that weren't here for over that period of time come back, and it looks like a jungle.
Yeah.
Super high weeds and property overgrown and that.
They just want to turn around and go back to where they came.
Yeah. I've got property here too, and I'm not above that at all. Sometimes I wish I hire a landscape company myself, because working on equipment like that, like I said, for years, a lot of times, if you work on equipment stuff day after day, last thing I want to do is go and spend 2 days out running one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Plus, it's very important to use those to keep our landscaping weeds down and be fire wise, right?
Yeah, defire wise. That is very important.
Your weed eater doesn't work as an excuse, because Lee will fix it.
I'll try. I'll do my best. And if you bring me one that isn't repairable, when I look at it, I don't ever charge. And I have no problem. I've been doing this long enough on all this different equipment, and if you bring a piece of equipment to me and it costs you more to repair than it would to go get a new one or a newer model or something like that, I will tell you, because you don't want to throw $2,000 at $1,000 car, or that kind of thing. So,
and he's very honest, and he'll tell you the way it is, and not try to take advantage of you.
I don't like giving people bad news. I don't.
No.
I never have. I've always looked at things as a half full rather than half empty. If you bring something to me and it's at its end of the life, and you can get another 6 months estimate out of it before it completely dies, I'm going to let you know. If things are getting tired, tell you, keep it in mind. You probably within the next not too long, you're going to be looking at, instead of putting more money into this, it's time to start looking for something else. Yeah.
You were pretty much born and raised here. I know you mentioned that you had left for a couple years, but that was it. You came right back. And you've worked with the Four Peaks Towing. And now you do your snow. What did you do before Four Peaks Towing?
Well, before I came back to Tonto for the short time, I worked in the rental field. Mm-hmm. Working at a rental equipment rental, and I mainly did customer repair type things, like I'm doing now, plus the equipment that they rented, everything from trenches to trenchers to to backhoes, and that's.
So you did a little bit more bigger equipment.
I've worked on larger equipment, hydraulic, hoses, rams. Worked on larger equipment, clear on down to, mixers, and I just like the variety. Worked on vacuum cleaners. I've repaired vacuum cleaners for people here. Put a new transmission case in gears in a KitchenAid mixer.
Really?
Yeah. So
don't go buy a new one for $400 when you get it fixed.
you know, sometimes they can be quite tricky, and you know, to repair on how extensive. You know, it's just. Yeah, I work on more things than I don't.
Yeah.
I try to. I'm not much of a. I generally won't work on your boat.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I don't generally do boats or anything like that. I can recommend a good boat mechanic. You know, I don't work on really work on you know, ATVs or UTVs. I'm more homeowner / contractor grade equipment and stuff. That's basically what I try to stick to.
Okay.
You know, but if somebody calls me, you know, locally or anything like that, and I really have no problem recommending or doing my best recommendation to find you somebody to take it to, if it's something that I don't work on. And yeah.
Awesome. Well, I usually ask you what you love most about Tonto Basin, but you've really never left here, so you've got to love it in general.
Oh yeah.
The whole town, the whole community. But do you have a favorite hangout or activity when you're not tinkering with small engines?
Well, my number one thing is you know, we've got a very close family here, and you know, I've got brothers and sister-in-laws and sons that all live here on the property, and I like to go out on my UTV, and we've got a small group that we get together with and go on trail rides and things like that, and I just like the lifestyle here.
Just being with friends and family.
Yeah, being with friends and family, and I like to travel. You know, get to actually do some vacations and things like that. But Tonto Basin is home for me. I've lived 90% of my time on the east side of Tonto Creek. We've got a certain friends and kind of a brotherhood over here on the east side, I guess, and people that you care about, a lot of people you care about, and a lot of people that care about you, and being in a community like that, where if you were ever to put the word out that you needed a help or a hand or things like that, I like being part of that.
Yeah, and I see you being a really big part of that, and you know, it's friends helping friends, family helping family, community helping friends and family. That's really what the Tonto Basin community is all about. It doesn't matter what part of Tonto Basin you live in.
This community has basically supported me. It has allowed me to raise two boys, and allowed my kids to go to school in the same school that I was in, and it allows me the kind of lifestyle that I gravitate towards always towards more of the rural lifestyle, and the friendships that I've kept over the years. Chris and Jeannie Klein, they're salt of the earth people, and you know, a lot of you people know that I drove for Four Peaks Towing for a lot of years, and there was a certain level of respect that we had in the way that Chris and Jeannie did business, that fell in line with the way that I do. I just I've said for years, there is enough for things to do here in Tonto Basin as far as my business, and there's enough equipment and things to repair that I don't need to generate my own work. Which means if you bring something to me, I don't add charges to it. I don't order and I don't replace things that don't need to be replaced. It's not the way that I do business, and do my best to be above board and in the way that I operate.
Yeah.
And Four Peaks Towing and Chris and Jeannie Klein are the same way. I mean, that's you surround yourself with good people, good things happen.
That's a perfect note to end on. And it's been so much fun interviewing you, and I'm so glad that you're part of this community and what you have to offer. So for anybody, if you have any questions whatsoever about small engines, or you want to get into it yourself, or maybe get some advice, looking for parts, just give Lee a call. Maybe he'll do it over a hamburger or something.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't mind working with people over the phone. I actually enjoy, resolving issues. Sometimes people call me, and if I can help them fix it over the phone, that tickles me. I really enjoy that too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to find any more of a friendly community member than Lee Goodwin. And he does have a wife, Shelley. She's sitting in the corner, avoiding the camera. But
my
sure
lifetime date.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure that you know that Lee comes with Shelley, and Shelley comes with Lee. So that's the partnership that works here for them and their family. So thank you again for being part of our conversation today. Your engagement is super important to us. So if you would just take a moment to like, share, comment, we would really appreciate it. So if you happen to know of someone who would like to be featured and interviewed, please reach out to me. My contact information is on parkbench.com, and it will also be at the end of this video. So together, let's continue supporting our community and making a difference. We've got people like Lee and his family who make a huge difference in this community. And so thanks for being here. Take care. Shop local. And until we chat again, bye for now.
Thank you.